In my videos, I have shown my armies beating many enemies into the ground, mostly with men-at-arms, who are the center of winning wars in Crusader Kings. Despite their importance, many people don't know how to use them properly, so today I will show you how to use men-at-arms to their best potential. Also, you can subscribe to see more videos like this.
Maybe my soul may die, I don't know. Maybe I don't have a soul.
We have all seen Reddit stories about Varangian veterans, horse archers, or war elephants. You always hear how they can beat the entire world on their own. Then you try them and they get clubbed by some guy with 11 martial. This is the result of a simple thing. Everything can be OP if you boost it enough. This of course doesn't mean that you can't say that some men-at-arms are better or worse. It would be dumb, for instance, if someone claimed that the basic light horsemen are better than the Outremer chasseurs. You can also, through some math, get the results that the crossbowmen are the best in terms of cost against efficiency. Or that if you are playing as a step ruler, you should absolutely use horse archers because of the massive boosts they have when fighting on the steppe. However, in the early game you should not stress about men-at-arms, since in most cases bigger number will win no matter what. But if you have money to spare, you can try to counter the most common men-at-arms in your region. For example, if you're playing in Perm, get light horsemen, as they will counter the very common archers of the region. Also, if you need to increase the number of your troops for some reason, use bowmen, as they are cheap and very effective unless countered. Then, in the middle to late game, get a unit of men-at-arms of every type, increase their numbers as you go, or by what you need at the moment, and keep their numbers as high as possible. So I'm gonna use my Outremer game for this one, and I'm gonna first show you how it looks like when my army is fully maxed out. So I'm landing with the disembark penalty, and well, you'll see. So it wasn't a stack wipe, but it still was an impressive win. I'm gonna wait until they return with the army again. Okay, oh. Yeah, they disappeared. So the reason why my men-at-arms are so strong is the stationing. For instance, my armored horsemen here get 190 damage from just being stationed in Tiberias. They get 50 toughness from it also. My chasseurs get 76. The spikemen get only 25, but they're not really stationed that well. My camel riders don't have that much from it, only 22. My Muberism 33. This is very average in terms of, maybe even under average, for how strong an army is at this stage of the game. This was mostly through a simple thing, which is just stationing the regiment in some place and then building up that place so they're boosted from it. For instance, this place is meant for my crossbowmen, so I've built here the militia camps, and now my crossbowmen here get 50 from it. My heavy cavalry here has the jousting grounds, they have stables. There's nothing that really could boost them even more, only the blacksmiths. So I'll probably build that. This also doesn't mean that you have to limit your financial gains from the holdings if you build their military camps or things like that. As you see, these places like Jerusalem or Nablus or Gaza or Zughar, I hope I pronounced that correctly, they still make a lot of money. And yeah, if you have all the regiments that you want, you can just repeat them and get more of them. Just like I did here with crossbowmen, or you can get more siege engines, which never hurts. They also can be boosted, more or less, but that's not really so helpful with them. So now let's look at the siege engines.
happened?
What you just saw was these 5 maxed out men-at-arms of just Mangonel. And as you saw, it's pretty OP. It's not really because they are boosted, even though they are there not by much. There are some buildings that boost them, but only by some small percentage. If you try to play with only siege engines, it's very viable, and it's pretty easy since you can besiege anything. As you saw, this is like 15 years after the second start date, and I was besieging this 5-level fort within like 25 days, while they were still sieging my capital for 4 months and had 4 months to go. I also find it to be very successful if you play tall in that campaign, because you can just hire elite mercenaries to protect them and you don't have to spend your place on anything else. Also, in the late game, this is even more OP because in the late game most sieges don't last that long. If you have one maxed out regiment of men-at-arms, you can besiege it within a month, almost anything in the late game. But here you can do it on the start, and if you continue this with like bombards in the late game, you can besiege it within a day. And that's very OP. You can effectively besiege faster than the enemy army can pursue you. Another thing about this that is cool is that you don't have to care about what terrain you're fighting in or whatever you're doing. You can just go to enemy place and siege it. It doesn't matter if it's in the mountains or in wetlands or in the desert. You can just besiege it and you gain war score. Also, there is only one trait that boosts them, which is military engineer. Plus also, and here in martial lifestyle you can even more speed it up by taking engineered for destruction, which boosts them by 40%. And by taking sappers, which gives all of these bonus to sieging also, so that also helps in sieges. So if you go down that tree, that lifestyle focus, you can run through all of this and then you're basically sieging in no time. You will besiege something in a day and it's all great.